Hello, Tyler Bryden here. I hope everything's going well. I'm very excited to be back for a little edition of What's New in Speak. This is the June 2025 edition, and there's a lot of stuff packed in this update that we're excited to share with you. Now, who is Speak AI? If you don't know, we've been around since 2019, 6+ years. We've worked with over 200,000 incredible teams. And really, what are they looking to try to do? They're transcribing, they're translating, they're analyzing their data, and then they're sharing meaningful summaries, meaningful insights. So we work with a lot of great research teams doing focus groups and interviews. We work with a ton of sales teams who are analyzing their sales calls and trying to improve. Some really interesting coaching and consulting teams who are capturing sessions of their clients in action and providing feedback, and even some amazing academic researchers who are doing incredible qualitative research and analysis. And really, we pride ourselves on being 90% more affordable, hitting that incredible mark of 95% transcription accuracy. We're trying to save you time and money, and we're consistently saving you 80% plus. And today we have over 160 languages supported across transcription and translation. Now, we've been hard at work making Speak faster, smarter, and more valuable for you. Here's what's new in June. One of the first major releases in Speak this month is this idea of being able to chat with your entire library. And so if you know Speak for a long time, you've been able to create a folder, add a bunch of files into that folder, and then you can use the chat function up here to interact with that entire data set. But we had some teams, and I think rightfully say, hey, we want to look at multiple folders and chat, analyze that data all at once. So how can we do that? And we're excited to say that is now live. So I can view the analyze data page. I can visit that, and I can not only chat with the entire library, I can actually use the advanced filter to create really incredible combinations of segments in my data sets that I'm looking at, not just in one folder, but across many folders within my account. And of course, we've got keywords, we've got sentiment, we've got fields to analyze the data in a more quantitative way. But still today, we see a ton of people using this chat function. And so I've got some suggested or used prompts that I've been using consistently in the application. I can also go down to the bottom and I can do my search. So in this case, I'm going to use my general AI assistant, and there's some great resources on the assistant template. And all I have to do is type in the prompts. So in this case, I'm looking at 2 folders across the account. I'm dropping below. So I'm going to say, analyze these Amazon reviews and the Spotify cancellation feedback for me. Focus on the light. And that's what the Amazon reviews are. And then let's also look at the user experience of Spotify. So it's now queried all the data in these folders. And you can see that it's actually separated the analysis into those 2 folders. So one, looking at the Spotify cancellation feedback with that really nice focus on user experience and features, and then some other issues that emerged, as well as the lights on the Amazon review, including the product reliability and the customer support. Now, what's great about this is there's also references in this data when you do your query across multiple folders in that segment that you've defined. And I can go down here and I can see the actual reviews that had come out from Amazon. So for example, this Amazon review where there was 1 star, and then I can click and I can see the review from Spotify. So a great way to understand how Speak got to that answer. And if that's audio and video, I can even see the exact timestamp and moment and click right to it. So chat with your entire library, and then using the advanced filters is an incredible addition to the platform. All you have to do is head to that analyze data section, apply the filters, and you can chat. An entirely new level of summarization of analysis is available. What else is new in Speak? We've got, I would say, drastically improved speaker identification. This is specifically when you're using the AI meeting assistant in Speak. The AI meeting assistant joins Microsoft Teams, WebEx, Google Meet, and Zoom. And previously, there was these weird instances where, depending on the order of someone joined the meeting and when they talked, you could start to see speakers jumbled out of order. And we really wanted to fix that because we know that this meant that if your speakers were not labeled properly, you were going to decrease the transcription accuracy. The summary could be inaccurate. And then if you're doing even deeper analysis, more inaccuracies could come out. So it was really a spiral if from the origination of that meeting, the speakers was labeled improperly. And so great work by the development team here. We were able to adjust this and make some huge improvements to the speaker labeling from meetings. And that means super high accuracy transcripts and then summarization. And then when you do that deeper analysis, you're getting the exact results. So this update is now live. Try out a meeting, give it a try. And just to take a quick look as an example, I'm a little zoomed in just for demonstration purposes. We've got very quick toggling back and forth between people in this focus group on Zoom. Jake, Madison are talking here, and then Mackenzie is jumping in, and then Lauren is jumping in. So a lot of people immediately switching back and forth very quickly. But if you're trying to run that analysis, trying to extract out who's saying what versus when, if you're trying to find themes based on who was speaking, all of these things could degrade really quickly if you didn't label the speakers properly. And there was mechanisms within Speak to refresh and reset the speakers so you could relabel them. But that was a sort of painstaking, time-taking task, and we really wanted to eliminate that problem for you. And so a lot of effort has now gone into improving these speakers and the accuracy of identification when you're in meetings. We're pumped to get this live for you. Excited to see your speakers labeled properly, your summaries better, your analysis even deeper because of this change. So another thing super excited to see live here this month is basically audio and video clipping. I would say this is like V2. We did the original version and we had a lot of teams adopt the clipping, which is great to see. Basically doing interviews or focus groups or sales calls, whatever it was, these media moments, these high impact moments, and they were using the clipping to extract that out, create little compilations, and then share those clips with their team members, with their clients. And so super excited to see that adoption. And with that adoption, you get some feedback. You can see some of the inefficiencies there. And so we use that to improve this function very quickly. Before, if I wanted to create a clip, I could always do it. And again, I'm zoomed in a little bit here just for the sake, but I could go here and I could click and then I could create the clip and then we're going to see the pop up and we'll be able to create that. So I'll create that clip. That's going to populate in the clip section there and is a great function at its core. In a second, that'll pop up and we watch that 6 seconds. I clip nonsense for this example just to give you the path. But what we found was people were looking for very specific moments that they wanted to clip. And so maybe you didn't want to take this entire section. And so we created a function where really now all you have to do is highlight it. Say, I just want this sentence. I can right click and I can say add to clip. And then say there's another sentence here and I want to go pick that. I can add that to the clip. Now, I realized maybe that first one was actually redundant now that I've seen that. I can remove that clip and I've created that segment. Again, let's add one more just to show this example. I'm going to add that to the clip. I'm going to create, you'll see that same workflow there. It'll populate and a little bit longer clip, but you can already see
there are a couple of ground rules.
It's populated. Madison speaking, giving some ground rules out. And you have now much more, again, control over the exact moments that you're looking for. And say you actually want this part, I can add that to the clip, and that's the first part. And then I want to add this almost out of order. It doesn't matter. It's there. You can see this is the first clip. This is the second clip. You can really curate those compilations, those highlight reels, those impactful moments with this video clipping version 2 within Speak. That is now live. We're super excited about that and look forward to seeing you create some more clips. And as always, love to hear your feedback on how we can continue to improve this. Okay, so what else do we got? We've got new plans within Speak. Super excited about this. We had this just ridiculous limited time offer towards the end of 2024 and then moving into the start of 2025. And a ton of you took us up on that offer. We're very excited to see you using the platform and glad to hear all the positive feedback. We learned a lot from that. And what we did was basically create some new plans that really package Speak, the system itself, into the structures that we've seen work for people. And so what do we have now? We've got a starter plan, we've got a pro plan, we've got a team plan, and then we've got the enterprise offering. Now, as always, we continue to give the pay-as-you-go plan. We know many of you love that, the no commitment, the basic functionality. Yes, you pay more for the transcription. Yes, you pay more for the analysis, but maybe that's the way you want to interact with the system because you're using it in that pay-as-you-go manner and you don't know exactly how much data is coming your way. Still there, don't worry, you're in a great spot. And if your trial's expired and you're not in one of the plans that I'm about to walk through, you're going to be automatically enrolled in the pay-as-you-go plan and you can access the capabilities of Speak at any time. But if we go back to the new plans, I just wanted to take a second to walk through this. I think this is valuable to walk through and understand and share with you some of the reasoning behind it. So first of all, we created the starter plan. That's only $15 per month. With that, 25 hours of monthly transcription, 10 million AI chat characters, you get translation, you are the individual team member there, you get all core functionality, unlimited data storage, the iOS and Android app are there, the surveys, the media clipping, the keyword sentiment and analysis, the web scraper, the in-app recording, the custom vocab, meeting assistant, all of that is there. So honestly, you're in a really good spot with that starter plan at only $15 per month. And if you want to go yearly, you can actually drop it down to only $10 per month. That's $120 billed annually. It's a 33% discount and will set you up very nicely. If you're an individual user, you're doing meetings, you're doing transcription, you're doing some analysis, but you don't need to add a bunch of team members. And really you're fine in that structure of an account. But if you want to expand your capabilities, you can then move into the pro plan. That's $50 a month or only $33 a month if you sign up yearly. That's again a 33% discount off the yearly plan. It used to only be $20. You get everything you had in the starter plan, but you get 50 hours of monthly transcription instead of the 25. You can upload 5 gigabyte files instead of the 2 gigabytes. And we are seeing an increase in file size, especially with the rise of 4K and all this high resolution assets. You get more than double the AI chat characters, 5 times the translation character, an order of magnitude of text notes. If you're running that analysis, you get 5 team members, and then a few important parts. You get the premium meeting assistant, which means you actually get to customize the branding of the meeting assistant. You can pop in your own name, you can pop in the image, and we really find people like that. Obviously increases their professionalism and it makes people who you're in a call with feel a bit more comfortable that the AI assistant is there. And they basically don't know that Speak exists. A couple other things I think are really important in this are the CSV upload. So you can upload either tons of media files at once. You can upload a lot of text reviews if you're getting that type of feedback, and then run that analysis at scale. So really this plan is much larger in terms of the scale of analysis and work that you can do. A couple other things on the pro plan that I believe are worth mentioning. You get API access. This is huge. We have a lot of people interacting with the API directly, or they're using something like Zapier to push files in automatically, and you need to have the API key for that. So you can get that in the pro plan at only $50 a month or $400 only annually. And that gives you, again, some team members to work with, full admin management and everything there. Last note is you get the actual customization and branding of the survey. So if you're creating surveys and you're sharing them out, you can brand them much better. And you can also modify the length of duration of the audio and video that you're receiving when you share out those surveys. So pro, really good spot, a really good plan offering for those of you who are working in small teams, but really want some of that customization, more power, and then more usage built directly into the plan. So we keep climbing up in terms of these plans. If you are growing with a bigger team, up to 15, we basically triple the number of users you can have on this plan. $100 a month or only $67. That's 33% off. That's only $800 annually. You're in a great spot. I think when we look at, say, competitors or alternatives in our space, there really a lot of them are doing per usage seating. And so when you start to factor that in, Speak is competitive in terms of pricing. You get 15 gigabyte uploads. You get 100 hours of monthly transcription. That's 1,200 annual. That's a big bucket for your whole team. You get 10 gigabyte file uploads, 50 million AI chat characters. So it really starts to climb there. million translation characters, 100,000 text notes, so really increasing that share. And I think a couple other things really important. Shareable media libraries. This is a huge function within the application that allows you to take the folders that you have inside the application and then flip them out to either clients that you're working with or team members or even other shareholders that are interested in that media, in that data, and allow them to interact with that without being an admin team member in the account. So you basically get a pared down version of the Speak experience that scales in real time as you add more data, that allows them to interact with the media, interact with the data, and you can curate the analysis to them. So a very powerful functionality only in that team plan and above. And we see a lot of teams using this, so in a great spot. And then of course, at that level, you're getting priority support. That means you get to talk with me. Fantastic. And obviously priority response time on emails, on live chats, and then you've even got a dedicated link for customer meetings where you can chat with us at any time. So it puts you in a very good spot. And that's only $100 per month or $67 per month if you sign up yearly. So only $800 per year. And that's a powerful punch in that package, the team package at Speak. Now, say you have some needs outside of the pre-created packages we have here for you. You're an enterprise, you need white labeling, you have more users that you need, you have more hours that you need, you've got voice translation and huge needs for that. You want to choose the data storage location, you need more dedicated onboarding and training. The enterprise option is good for you and we'll happily customize it to your needs. We work with a lot of teams to customize Speak to their organization, the problems they're facing, and making sure that you're set up for success. And there's a reason why we've got a 4.9 rating on G2. Teams love working with us. We're highly reliable. The platform's been around for 6+ years. And we're also experts in language, in audio video analysis, in automation. And so we're always here and happy to help. You can literally hit that contact us button, pop open for a success session, and we'll make sure that you're set up nice. So that's all on the plans. What else is going on functionally in Speak? One, of course, we've released the iOS and the Android app. Those continue to grow in usage. We've got some great feedback on them and we're not forgetting about them. We are improving them for you. And there's been some big releases this month just with the app alone. Couple ones I want to highlight. This picture, first of all, shows just for iOS, but say you've got a recording on your phone, on your device, maybe in your voice memos. You can actually hit the share option there and you'll now see Speak populated. Great to see that as an option. You can share directly into Speak. It will populate. You can upload that for transcription and analysis right away. So that idea is that you can share to Speak. Again, that's iOS only. We look to add that to Android at some point. We'll keep you updated on that. I think one of the other things that we had seen, certain instances, maybe you're recording and your phone screen goes off and we were losing access to the microphone. We're very happy to say that's been resolved on both iOS and Android, so you can confidently record, put your phone down, have the meeting, have whatever you want. You can come back. It will have continued the recording the whole time, and then you can upload that instantly for the transcription analysis in Speak that you love. The other update on the phone app is choosing from the gallery. This is iOS only for now. We'll continue to work on this in Android, but you can select audio and video directly from the gallery. So from your photo gallery, if you've got some video in there, you can simply click that as an option and pull that directly into the app for transcription and analysis. Okay, so what else? Got a nice little image generated here. And really what we added this month was, I think, a very important function around automatic AI management. So what's the process here? Really what we're seeing is people having different use cases in Speak, and those different use cases as they flow through require different ways that you interact with the AI models and with Speak itself. So maybe I've got a meeting. In this case, it was a meeting podcast that basically happened with the team we love at All In, Senator Ron Johnson. And you've got the entire transcript here and you're trying to summarize this and you want all the key points, you want all the topics, all the timestamps, all of that stuff. You want to make sure that you get a comprehensive summary of this meeting, of this call, of this session, of this recording. And so what you want is to not prioritize or deprioritize specific parts of that meeting. You're providing the entire context of it and you're getting all of those action items or key points or themes in the response. And so previously, even say an hour meeting, a 2-hour meeting, this wasn't possible because of the context length that AI engines could really handle. Now, as we've seen these continue to increase, we can take an hour meeting, a 2-hour meeting, and upload it in one go, consider that entire context, and produce that response. So Speak is now handling that process for you. You're interacting with the file under, say, that 2-hour limit. You're asking for a summary of the meeting. It's going to give you that, and you're going to have nothing missing. There's going to be no deprioritization or missing information from that analysis, and you're going to get a very crispy, accurate response with everything that was included. However, you may switch the use case up. And say you've got a bunch of focus groups that you've run, and there's dozens or hundreds of interviews and focus groups from the analysis that you're doing, and you want to interact with that data at the folder level or even at the account-wide level. Still today, these AI engines, that's still a huge data set that models today can't handle. Maybe that changes in the future, but for now, if you were to try to stuff all of that data into the AI model, you're either going to have a failure or you're going to spend a lot of money and waste a lot of characters doing that. And so Speak jumps in and we handle the AI management of how we interact with the AI, and we rely on a system where you can get the response, but we use a function called embeddings, where we chunk up moments in the transcript and we find the most meaningful representative moments, the most important moments for you based on the query that you had. And so when you interact with the data set, you'll see something like this across that entire folder and across that library. There's several files that were prioritized, and then specific moments in that data, it's going to actually show you that exact moment. You can even jump to that exact moment and review in the transcript or in that media. And you can see that nicely organized with those references as well as the answer. And so Speak, now handling that automatic AI management for you, will continue to do this even better as models improve, as our technology improves, as context lengths improve. And so you can be confident that you're getting the most accurate result at the best cost, quickly, and without any worrying about managing that manually yourself. A few other updates from the month. Added new languages. We're always adding new languages. We've continued to improve accuracy for some of the ones that we already have, and then we've actually expanded specifically transcription support with all the languages that you can see here. Assamese was a big one that we were getting, as well as Flemish and Welsh. Those are now added, and you are getting state-of-the-art models with leading accuracy, full timestamping, speaker separation, and identification, all the great stuff that you've come to expect from Speak. And as always, you've got the languages supported on this help documentation here. We'll continue to update that for you. Now, any other updates we're working on other updates, smarter filtering in the data. So say I'm analyzing the data. I've got a bunch of Amazon reviews here. If I select fields, you can have a ton of fields in your account, but you really don't want to sort through all those. You only want to do the ones that you're looking at. And I can now see, okay, great. Here's all populated fields that I have. And I can very quickly make those selections and then display those right away. Also, say you've got an active survey, you can deactivate and then activate that survey. We're seeing people create them, and maybe temporarily they just want to stop responses for that, where they do analysis or they update that. They can easily deactivate that, and then when they're ready, activate it again. So a great control mechanism there. And at the end, we always love to share. What's next. We improved the video clipping. We've also got a better mechanism for improving the transcript editing. That's coming soon. Another huge thing that we're working on is actually localizing currency for purchases. So whether you're purchasing a plan or you're using the pay-as-you-go function and adding a balance, that will be localized to your region, your currency, and make it much more understandable for you. Very excited about that. That localized currency is going to take a little bit of work, so we'll let you know when that's live. And then lastly, I think this is a very interesting thing, but we're also working through this idea of what we would call like AI meta awareness. And so what does that mean? Say I've got this data set here, and I've actually got the sentiment, the created at date, I've got some themes that I've extracted out. When I'm interacting with the AI, I want the AI to understand its structure within the account that I've set up, the columns, the analysis that I've done, the sentiment score, all of that stuff. And so then if it knows that, the answers that it can give are even more compelling, even more accurate. So if it knows that the response from this person was from this country and this household income, then it can provide even more concise, meaningful answers. And with that same idea, we could also start to build more comparative data sets where the structure is known and we can analyze one data set, analyze another, and then do even more things through that AI to run that comparison and create better analysis. So as we work through this AI meta awareness, where I'll keep you updated, it's a super compelling idea and we'd love to see that borne out in the application with really good results. That takes us to the end of the updates. There's always more things that we didn't even expect come up during a month and are great ideas, and we move forward on that. And things are changing so quickly. So it's a very exciting time in AI, and we're glad you're here at Speak AI. It's an honor to serve you. There's over 200,000 of you across 150 countries who actually signed up and use Speak. So we're thankful for each one of you. We love to hear from you. We love getting feedback. We're always here and happy to help. And whether you're using the application yourself or you're just looking for some support with video, with audio, with language, with automation, we're always here and happy to help. Have an amazing rest of the month. This has been Tyler Bryden, co-founder and CEO of Speak AI. And as always, feel encouraged to connect with me on LinkedIn. Send me an email, tyler@speakai.co. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye-bye.